Welcome to the third week of our January series. I'm Corlette Deveaux, your host. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Our show is about aging and how it affects all of us. We are continuing to have conversations with guests from all walks of life that have been impacted by life and aging. Whether the guests are seniors, middle-aged, or young, we want to bring their inspiring stories to you. We will have the opportunity to listen to stories that will move you to tears, that will make us all laugh, that will inspire us and give us valuable insights on current topics, health problems, and ways to live a healthier, longer life. It is our absolute pleasure to welcome back our guest this week, Terry Howell. We are deeply honored to have her here as she continues our exploration of this month's topic, coping with child abandonment by a mother. Very sad. The last 2 weeks, we had the privilege of hearing Terry's personal story about her journey with identity and abandonment and how her fear manifested in her actions. It was truly eye-opening and reminded us of the importance of addressing emotional and psychological abandonment, which can have a huge impact on someone's life. Every month, there will be one guest on our show, and that guest will be on the show for the entire month, just like Terry. We're going to walk you through their journey, week after week. So remember week 1, we discussed with Terry the abandonment by her mother and how she felt. And week 2, we discussed manifestations and actions resulting from fear. And week 3, this week, we will discuss how did she get help? What did Terry do to get help? And week 4, you're going to join us for week 4. We will discuss what is she doing about it and why. So please join us every week to hear our guests walk you through their journey week after week. If you would like to be a guest on our show and share your story, please contact us at dgincorporated.com. Now it's time for Aging Facts. While the National Cervical Cancer Coalition, NCCC, is always dedicated to cervical health, January is extra special. It's Cervical Health Awareness Month. Cervical cancer is the third leading cancer diagnosis for women between the ages of 20 and 39, and the fifth leading cause for women ages 40 to 49. The Center for Disease Control and Prevention recommends cervical cancer screenings for women ages 21 to 65. And there is a mission to involve as many people as possible. Did you know that the World Health Organization has a plan to eliminate cervical cancer? Yep, they do, through vaccination and screening. We can make it happen. This January, let's join efforts in learning more about cervical health and cancer prevention. You want to take action? Begin by exploring the 2 key tools, HPV vaccination and regular screening. Let's work together to kick cervical cancer to the curb. Bye-bye, cervical cancer. You can go to Cervical Health to get more information. I hope you will share this information with your family and friends to get more information about cervical cancer. Go to the CDC website to get more information. Now it's time to welcome our special guest today, Terry Howell. She's a proud native of Detroit. Yay, go Detroit. And she emerges not only as a versatile professional in dance, choreography, modeling, acting, playwriting, film writing, directing, and producing, but she is also a life coach and spiritual counselor. She has a remarkable tenure of over 15 years in the performing arts and representing BL Productions, a film company. Terry's influence extends way beyond the stage and screens. She is a child advocate, yes, and an entrepreneur, and she's devoted to empowering youth and uplifting those who have been through trials and tribulations. Terry's films go way beyond entertainment. They serve as a powerful instrument to illuminate voices that demand attention. Terry is a talented performer. She is fantastic. She has a premiere. Her latest movie was nothing short of amazing. The movie was inspired by the powerful stories of women who had faced childhood trauma, and that premiere. That movie is a must watch. We are so grateful to have Terry here. She's a shining light on important issues. We need people like her shining the light and using her talents to make a difference. So let's show her our support and check out her latest project. So please join me in welcoming my special guest again, Terry Howell. Today, you're going to hear an inspiring story. Welcome, Terry. We are back with our guest, Terry. Welcome.
We're here again.
Yes, and we are laughing, but Terry, this has been a very painful conversation for you and your family. So I appreciate you truly for sharing your story with us. And I know that you mentioned before offline that this is not easy for you, but you wanted to do it because you wanted to make a difference in the life of one person out there who may be going through what you're going through. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, we are going to talk this week about how you got help for the pain that you experienced and the fear that you were experiencing based on your mom's abandonment of you when you were 12 years old. Wow, 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 wow. You know, everyone, over the last 2 weeks, we've been talking with Terry, and we explored the depths of emotions and actions that resulted from her mother abandoning her. Today, we want to focus on a critical chapter in this conversation, Terry seeking help. So, Terry, please share with us your experiences and what you did to find support, and what did you do to get help as you're going through this painful and fearful time of your life.
Well, I would say I've had a lot of girlfriends that had good relationships with their mothers. And so I spent the night a lot of weekends with them because I could not process life without a mother. So I basically shared their mother and became a part of their family because I needed that mother connection, that mother nurture. Um, and that's where I started to open up to the ideal of counseling because another mother was nurturing me. And that was giving me soil to be able to trust to get help because she was explaining to me that the help was for me. It wasn't for the mending of the relationship, me and my mother. It was for me to come out of the state of lowness that I was in. And so the more she nurtured me, loved on me, gave me hugs, cooked meals, gave me cupcakes special for me, stuff like that I would have wanted from my mother, that loved me into getting real help to deal with the issue. So that's how I started. And then, like I said, I had a teacher in the 6th grade, and it was the same year my mom left. She called my father and grandmother and asked them if she could mentor me and take me home sometimes and spend some time with me because she noticed that I was not present in class. She would call on me and I wouldn't be answering. And I wouldn't participate. I would just sit there just staring off. And she had a daughter and a son. I think they were younger than me. They might have been 3rd, 5th grade. And they accepted me. And that was another way that I was getting loved on from my friends and from my teacher to keep me afloat. And so she was the one that told me that there was a counselor in school. Nobody used them. And that I could go during, in the morning before I even went to class, and after school when I got out of school, I could see the counselors many times I wanted to. And that started my journey to learning that it wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't the stigma everybody was making it seem like. You telling your stuff to somebody. You tell your stuff to somebody when you get in a relationship.
That is
When you're
true.
learning a man,
Mhm.
you're learning them, so you're opening up. You're telling stuff too soon, so that's really a stigma. It's really an excuse instead of me just realizing a lot of my mothers, I would call them, they actually gave me another way of seeing it to know that you are helping you have the moment in this moment to help this brokenness. And
Right,
this is how you can do it.
right.
And I wanted to look at it like that. Every time I didn't want to go or I felt like it's not going to help, I said, this is the moment to take
Mm.
the step to help it, to help you feel better, you know. So that's how I looked at it.
And so you went to counseling. How long did you go to counseling? You did say you went to counseling every day, right?
From 12th, I would say sixth grade, because I was 12, sixth grade through 12th grade, I did. And then when I got married, I went again because it was showing up. See, when you don't face it enough to be consistent in it, it shows up in the next phase.
It
So I
shows
had a
up.
next
Mhm.
phase in your life, teenage, on to my 20s, on to my 30s.
You
Because
know,
I
tell
was,
me
I
about
wasn't,
that.
you go and you realize it does hurt because you have to relive the moment,
Yeah, you
but
do.
you're not reliving it in the mindset of the low mindset. You're reliving it with new clarity and a new way of seeing it. Because now you're in your conscious right mind. You're not in the fear of it.
Right.
Face it. And so I think that's another thing too that makes people stay away because they like, I'm not about to relive it. You're not really reliving it. You're looking at it like a picture with your
Mhm.
right mind.
Mhm.
Right. And so when you can do that with somebody there with you, you're being supported and they're helping you with how your thoughts and feelings are about each moment that is being presented. So it's not the same. Then
Mhm.
you just reliving it all over again by yourself, and
Right.
your feelings are real present because you don't have any tools to know how to navigate it.
Mm-mm.
That's why it's important to have
And you said
somebody.
something that was so profound. You said you went from sixth to 12th grade and going every day. And then you said it showed up again in your 20s and in your 30s. Share with us how it showed up in your 20s and how did that look in your 20s and how did that look in your 30s? Because as you mature and grow, it looks different, but it still shows up in different forms. Share with us what that looks like in your 20s and what it looked like in your 30s and the help that you got in your 20s and in your 30s.
So as a kid, the layer that they were working on that I wasn't letting go of the grip was my resentment, my defense.
Yep.
So they couldn't get beyond the next level of the therapy that I needed that actually got to the meat of me feeling the way I felt about my mom. Because now I'm just mad, period. I didn't even know how I had so many layers of that to go through.
Right.
That's why it was so long. They were dealing with my behavior and how I was taking to things and assuming things and snapping and giving people a piece of my mind, like people be saying, and not realizing that your mind that you piecing and giving to people,
Mm-hmm.
soon you don't have none. So they had to explain all of that.
Mm.
And so I had to get understanding about that. And when it got to my 20s, it showed up in a relationship, right? So now I have expectations pent on this man of my happiness, which was my mother's stuff. That's her stuff with me. I pinned it on him. My mother left me, so you better not leave me. You're not gonna treat me like this. Like I was real aggressive and real. Women don't realize that they are abusive mentally and verbally towards a man because you're not healed. It's not their responsibility to make you happy. It's your
That is true.
responsibility to get the help
That is
and
true.
do the work. And that's what we don't realize. And I didn't realize that because he married me and he loved me and we had kids, right? So I got all these hangers of expectation all hanging on him, and they all belong to my mother. So I had to go
Mom
through
used to
that.
say, let me say, my mom would say, don't beat me with somebody else's stick.
That's good.
You were beating your husband with your mother's stick.
Yeah.
And you recognize that. That's amazing that you even recognize that, Terry. You recognize, yes.
I didn't. The therapy told me that.
The therapist helped you get there
The
to understand.
therapist was like, you can't, it's not his job. He was never supposed to be your nurturer. He's in this time of your life to be what he is. Right. And I just couldn't separate the two.
Mm-hmm. So that therapist helped you?
Say that again.
Did that therapist help you through that? Because it sounds like the therapist did.
It did.
Help you get to the point where you actually understood that was not his role.
Yeah, it did. I had to really understand. And I think that's what a lot of women problem is too, because we are in so much of an imagination when we're girls and we're playing with our dolls and we want to be married and we want to play Barbie and Ken and put them in the car. And we want to don't realize you're bringing all of this imagination of fictitious understanding into a real reality world. And so you have the wrong definition with what really is. You have an imagination definition and it's really not the real. So when you get older, then you like, can't nobody tell me, but you learned wrong. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's where the therapist has to take you back to the foundation of where you learned wrong. Because what we do is we protect our heart by putting pieces of what we think we want by what we see in our worldview in a puzzle in our mind. And when he don't match up, you can't tell me what to do. I'm going to get another man. But guess what? You still got the wrong definition and wrong understanding.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. So you got help in a number of ways, Terry, which is absolutely amazing. You had friends whose moms embraced you, loved you, was loving all over you. You had your dance that helped you through this. You went to counseling, and thank God that one teacher that you said in sixth grade pulled you aside and said, I want to love on you and I want to mentor you and I want to guide you, and told you to go to counseling. So you got help in a number of ways that was able to bring you to where you are, to be the woman that you are today. That is just amazing, because getting help and going through and navigating through this pain is not easy. And you did it, and you are here, strong enough to talk about it. You are strong enough to talk about it. Girl, I appreciate you. That's so awesome.
The power of love.
The power of love.
Power of love. You have to know that it is not yours.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Amazing. It belongs to God. And so because these individuals loved on me, softened the hardness in my heart to get me open enough to get the help, to get the wholeness. The power of love.
Yes, absolutely. And with that, I appreciate you, Terry. Thank you for your openness. It is so heartening to hear how seeking help can be a transformative step in the healing process. It is important, y'all, to heal. You have to get help. And you heard Terry's story on how she got help through this difficult time in her life. And it happened in her teenage years, in her 20s, and in her 30s. It's an ongoing process. And 40s. It's an ongoing process to heal. It's a lifelong journey to healing. Reach out for the help that you need, but don't ignore it. Get help. We will be here next week again with our guest, Terry. Join us as we explore what Terry is doing about the impact of her experiences and why taking action is so important. Terry, thank you so much again. We will see you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Terry. I just wanted to say how much I admire your courage in opening up and sharing your personal experiences, especially when it's so difficult to talk about. It takes a lot to do that. And I truly appreciate your willingness to share with us. Your dedication is truly inspiring, and using the arts as a form of healing is just absolutely amazing. Thank you, Terry. Now let's talk about habits to live longer and live better. And we talk about these every single week. 4 of them. 1, proper diet, including fruits, vegetables, lean protein, and whole grains. Remember that. Regular exercise, no matter how small, any kind of movement, moderate exercise will help your mood and will help you feel better. Reduce stress is number 3. Go outside, get some sunlight. It actually helps alleviate depressive thoughts and helps you to feel better and helps you to relieve stress. Go outside, it helps. And 4, socialization. Find a social group, hang out with people, make some friends, go to meet up, do something. But do those 4 things, because when you do, it will have a positive effect on your overall health and well-being and will help you live longer and live better. During this month, our main attention and consideration has revolved around a deeply moving and enlightening subject, abandonment by a mother. We know it's a deep topic, and we are here to create a safe space for all. Our aim, to bring comfort and strength through heartfelt conversations. Through this exploration, we hope to bring awareness and support to those who have gone through this painful and often neglected form of loss. Lucky for us, there are helpful resources like Terry's outreach group and community organizations lending their support. As a society, let's unite in our moral duty to protect and uplift our children and families. Together, we can foster stable and loving homes for all. For any adolescents facing mental health challenges or any challenges, it's important to reach out to a trusted adult for help, like your parents, school counselors, healthcare providers. Reach out for help. You can call 988 for help anytime. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you would like to learn more about our sponsor, please visit their website at dgincorporated.com. We invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Our Aging Puzzle and watch us every Friday evening at 8 p.m. We also invite you to subscribe to our sponsor's YouTube channel at DG Incorporated. Again, thank you so much to our guest Terry Howell for being a fantastic guest today and for the last 2 weeks. And we will see her next week. See you soon. Thank you for joining us. Voila.
I'm Kevin Harrington, an original shark from Shark Tank. DG Incorporated provides coaching services to help entrepreneurs open and grow assisted living facilities and build economic wealth. Visit their website to learn more.